button, like for example, these buttons get activated at a certain stage. I think send for review and all this, because this is ready for signatures, right? Abhishek, are you on mute, man? Are you saying something?
Yeah, sorry. I was saying based on the status category and status, the action button will appear. And there's as Deepika said, there's a certain life cycle related to it. Initially, when the agreement is created, it will be in signatures and ready for signatures. Then will be, depending upon the nature of the agreement, whether it's a negotiated or non-negotiated, the status will change. Either for non-negotiated, it will be sent for counterparty signature. Then when it is sent for counterparty signature, then some of the few action buttons will appear, either regenerate or sales for regenerate, sales regenerate, or you can cancel the request in between, or if you want to import any offline relevant document related to the agreement, you can do it. Okay, and if you click on these action buttons, it will again navigate to a separate AppTest package we have, AppTest page based on the action buttons. Like here, I changed the status to ready for signatures. So based on this status, either I can regenerate the agreement or I can create the whole new sales process from the beginning.
Yeah. So all of these buttons would have a different significance based on what state of cycle it is, right? So if you have any specific question regarding the process, probably we would be able to happy to answer. If it's something like which is more related to like actions or like stuff, that's something that we can take at a later stage when we deep dive further, right? I think it's more of like a high level overview which is done, and it's more of like these buttons we have already gone through with reseller as well. It's just that the way it's been shown right now over here, it's different from how it is configured. So I think understanding the notion behind that action probably is like more of a thing right now. As to what exactly it does in terms of like status changes, probably I think I would probably want you guys to focus more on the process.
Okay.
And there's a detailed document about that. I'll send that out to you. Okay.
Yeah. So who is signing this thing, Ankit? Is it the Salesforce or is it the customer who is signing the NDA?
So let's say, for example, it would depend. So basically, for example, there would be, you can actually see the customer negotiated contact also, and then customer signing contact over there. So these are nothing but the contacts itself, like which is associated to that particular account, Satya. And that's where this particular agreement will flow first for an internal signatory, and then basically it will go for the customer thing.
Yeah, and they can be the same person or they can be a different person depending upon who is negotiated and who is signing from the customer perspective.
Correct. So to answer your question, I think it's the vendor themselves, Satya.
Okay.
And it's through DocuSign. So there's an email which is going through via DocuSign, which basically does give them a way to sign it electronically, and they'll have signatures.
So vendor means here Salesforce, right? Higher.
So you will have two signatories within, let's say for reseller, right? They'll have like first signatory done by the internal signatory, which is nothing but Salesforce, and then it will be counterparty side, which is nothing but the vendor themselves. So yeah, so as far as reseller is concerned, we do have like both the parties signing on the same agreement.
So what is it not disclosed here? Are you talking about the prices that you sell to the customer and all those things are not disclosable, right?
Yeah. So I think it depends from process to process what we are doing. For reseller, it's just like more of like an onboarding, right? For legal, this is more of like while they are in the process of getting in, that's where they'll do it, right? So it depends on what sort of agreement we are talking about.
Okay, sure. So if you have any process diagram, can you send it, Ankit?
Yeah, for reseller, we do already have it. I'll share it with you also, Satya. I think we already have like a process flow and everything set up for that.
Yeah.
And for LSS, probably like Deepika can share it later if we have something.
Yeah. Any familiar documents and all will help.
Yeah, we do have a ERD structure and everything in place. Probably like Seshwar Mahesh would be able to share you. I think that will be helpful in terms of really understanding from a schema perspective of how the objects are related and how we are using AppTest objects in a way we could see, and more of like technically if somebody wants to really understand or go, I would suggest like please go through those stages like have some debug log set, and you'll see everything basically technically happening which is going behind the scene. That's probably like a good way of doing it. I did that myself, so I would also suggest that, because a lot of things over here we might not be able to touch base in depth per se, but then
So Ankit, who do I approach to create a Salesforce user for myself?
User for yourself, I think anybody from the dev team can do it. That should be fine.
Or I can also do it.
Can you do it, please?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Deepika.
No problem, sir. Thanks for clarifying a lot of questions. Okay. So I think, Datta, I do have a document I'll send out for you where you can see, what happens in every scoop, which buttons get enabled. I know you have questions on that, right? So I think that'll help you clearly what's happening on its status.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepika. Thank you.
Okay, so this is where we are at. We are in the NDA non-negotiated agreement. So this is how we generate a document, and documents get saved and archived, and it'll we can export this document from content library whenever we want to. So I think one feature that we can talk about is, I think Abhishek, can we talk about amend function? That's important, I think, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So normally, but this is not applicable on the. We can talk through MSC. I think let's go to MSC and maybe we can talk from there, right?
Yeah.
Before that, Deepika, can you show me how you got to that particular test demo agreement? Can you show me that?
Sure.
I think that's a dynamic tab, right?
That I don't know.
That's a dynamic tab, I guess so.
Okay, so
which one?
The test demo agreement. There's a dynamic tab, right? There's not a static tab.
This particular thing?
This one.
The test
This one.
demo.
This one.
Yeah.
So from
I opened the agreement record. Yeah.
It's a record.
Can you show me how to open that?
So probably Abhishek, go to agreements and let's
close that one and reopen, please. Request.
Let's go to the app launcher and open the agreements and pick the one. That's how we.
Yeah, I think it's specifically going through the object view list, and then you can open any record from there or something.
Yeah, it will be easy if you'll go. We have a UI created here. This is a Llama UI. It will be easy if you'll go to the account, and if at all the agreement is created for that particular account, it will be displaying over here.
Okay.
So that will be easy instead of going to app launcher, going to that particular object and searching the agreement. So that's another way, like this one. If I'll click on any agreement or so this tab you are referring to, right? How it came. Yeah.
Thank you.
So usually we go to the account and this account and account family, we usually directly navigate to agreement over here. So Deepika, continue.
Sure. Okay, so so far we are done with the NDA. Any questions we can take up later, I think. But yeah, that. Any questions, guys? I mean, I want to move on to MSC. I know we are running short of time, right? So we've just covered the NDA. Now let's take the major one, the MSA one.
Deepika, in right side, there is a one actions and generate supporting document, terminate amendment button is there. Also in bottom, there is expire, renew. In that generating supporting document, document.
Don't worry about these buttons.
Lighting component?
Yes, both are lighting components. This is, just forget about this. This is a new feature, and in this box, we have just enabled that. You concentrate on this lighting component.
Yeah.
This one. That is under development. We are not using this. This particular feature is.
Yes, got it. Go bottom.
Datta, you are dropping off.
Yeah, you're cutting off, man. If you want to report it on the time, you're cutting off.
Hello? Yeah, a bottom side also there is some approval tab is there.
Which one?
Bottom side.
Where? Can you please refer to which thing?
Okay, I
Which one you are
will
saying
send
about?
you a snapshot. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, don't go to that person. That is after stage. We are not using the lighting.
Yeah, I know. I have said to them. Just displaying
Don't
away.
worry,
Yeah.
don't worry about that. Yeah, don't worry about that section. Let's continue.
Yeah. So this is a section we are focusing on.
Okay, Abhishek, let's move on to the MSc one, okay?
Yeah, this one is MSA. Deepika, you can continue.
So can you start from the beginning? Let's just, I think, is this a negotiated, non-negotiated? Which one is this?
This one is a non-negotiated one. You want a negotiated one? Let me just give me a moment.
Yeah, but do you think we can create it? Do you have, we're seeing some internal errors, right? Do you think we can create anything?
Yeah, just give me a moment.
So MSCs and PSAs we create from opportunity. Okay.
So these documents, right, Deepika, everything is generated in Salesforce, right? We are not getting anything from the customer and uploading anything, right?
No, we are inputting the values and using the templates. We are generating this document.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
We're not getting any live, web things or anything like that. We're not getting any documents from customers. We generate and we send it to them through DocuSign, and it's again, they do this counter signature and send it back to us, and it's archived in the files and attachment in the content library section.
Yeah.
Sure.
So are you referring to this specific use case where you're expecting documents from vendor?
Yeah. See, you collect something, right? If you take any Indian process, right, they will ask you, send me your PAN card, Aadhaar card, etc., isn't it? Okay. So similar to that, I was just thinking, are you guys collecting any documents from the end customer?
No. So even if there's any additional thing which is getting collected, right? If at all it's a part of that particular agreement or it's part of that process to capture that information, I think they can very well use import offline document feature which is there, or they can attach it through notes and attachments. So in that case.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Abhishek, don't worry. If we can't create, right, we'll use existing. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure, Deepika. We can create yeah.
Okay, the entry point for this would be again, from the opportunity.
Yeah, the entry point will be opportunity.
Create MSc. This is an entry point for creating an MSc, okay? And like I said, we do it from Opti level, and there's a button, new button, create MSc button. That's when we launch this in the page opens up.
It usually takes time.
MSc stands for what, Deepika?
Master Subscription Agreement.
Okay. Master Subscription Agreement. Got it.
Normally it is tied to an order form. Depending upon the master subscription, it'll tell you these are the clauses and all that, an agreement, you have clauses and everything, right? Similarly, for this particular region, this is a customer and this is a residence and all that, and that information you have that. Depending upon that, an order form will be generated.
Yeah, sure. Right.
So meanwhile, it is loading up. Let's see an existing one. Yeah,
let's pick any of them. And it's again same style. See, every it's similar. It's similar. Similarly, you create a new MSc, and then depending upon the region, if it's APAC, and then you have different templates similar to what we have seen in NDA. You'll have a governing law entity and all that defined in the templates. It's all the same process. Only thing is just like I said, negotiated, non-negotiated. It's the same thing. It's okay, Abhishek. I think it's the same process, right? Let them explore that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So one quick question, Deepika, regarding this negotiated thing, right? For non-negotiated, I understand people submit from a web. I guess I'm right. So with respect to negotiated agreements, so how does the communication happens between Salesforce and the customer?
Sorry, you're talking about the non-negotiated one. Sorry,
Negotiated one. Because see, you said it will go back and forth, right? So there can be some conversation may be happening between Salesforce and the end customer. So how does that communication happen?
Yeah. To answer that question, Satya, I think as of now, it all happens via emails offline.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't have any email feature set up for any of the domain over here. So everything they'll basically capture like whenever they'll get the negotiated all the negotiated stuff from the vendor, right? So they'll basically utilize that, and none of those emails will get captured over here within the system. Person.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes, and we send usually this kind of mail to the customers for the negotiated one. They will ask them that we have sent you one of the version of the agreement, and like in the mail you can see if you agree with it, then it's okay, and if you want to review it, then you can review it and return the same via email.
Sure.
Then after that, once the counterparty reviews it, and we got the final form of the agreement, then we usually send it for e-signatures in the negotiated one.
Sure.
Yeah. Again, it will ask, like, there can be a different customers negotiation, the customer who is negotiated and the customer who is signing it.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Abhishek. Okay. So this is how this is an MSA screen. Okay, I think this was recently designed by Venkat and team. We've moved from older version to newer version flows. I think Venkat, it's flows, right? If I'm not wrong, but yeah, they're used different version.
We are using flows over here.
Yeah. So again, go ahead, sorry.
No, it is a flow. Yeah. Before it was usually for pages, we converted to flow.
Yeah. If you similarly, like right now, I selected negotiated, right? And I've chosen the region as AMER. And then for this particular region, AMER, you have California and San Francisco as they're the governing laws and they're the venues. Okay. This two pops up depending upon the region that you choose. And different addendums, like if you want to, for this particular MSA, do you want to add a service level SLA, or do you want to add DPA, or do you want to add, BA? These are kind of addendums. It's just an attachment. It's an accessory, not accessory, it's an attachment to the existing MSA. This will come up as an attachment, part of an MSA agreement. And yeah, let's do a next. Okay. So this is where the template pops up. For this region, you have the template shown up here. Similar to what we have in the NDA, similar. It will pop up here, customer negotiation contract, and next. Yeah, it might take a little while to get the document. Like it takes like a couple of minutes to generate the document. So meanwhile, this comes up. SELA is like Salesforce Enterprise License Agreement. We talked about SELA, right? It's Salesforce Enterprise License Agreement, the fourth kind of agreement. But we don't normally use that. Normally we work on MSA, ND, and PSA. Majorly it will be MSA.
What was the third one, Deepika?
SELA, Salesforce Enterprise.
No, the third one.
PSA, Professional Service Agreement.
Okay.
Like whenever you're providing professional services, right? Like you're sending the contractors to do some kind of professional work. You're establish the environment for them, or creating some logic for the customers. That's called as professional services.
Great. So we have NDA, MSA, PSA, and SELA.
Correct.
So I have selected a negotiated agreement over here. So in the third step, you can see we are sending it for review to the customer.
Yeah. This is where you'll be sending your document to the review. And if you see the attachments, right, like you have an attachment, it will be the Word document. Yeah, that's the one.
Just select proceed.
Yeah, go ahead, Abhishek. Yeah, I think once you have, once you all have your box, right, then you can run through this test and, then we can look at it again.
So now agreement is created and the status will be in authoring and sent for counterparty review.
Because we've already sent for the signatures, right? That's the reason.
Yeah, well, this is a negotiated one, Deepika. I selected it because we want it to be reviewed.
Yeah. You should be getting an email, right, Abhishek?
Yes. Just a second. It takes a minute of time. Yeah, meanwhile, Deepika, I can explain the process.
Sure. So yeah, let's wait. The moment, let's say Abhishek is a signing authority, right? Like he look at the document and he make sure everything is good, then he'll sign from the email itself. And once it comes back, right, then do you want to check that again, Abhishek? Quick.
Not yet, Deepika.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, let me show you a similar kind of thing. Ready for review one. So usually the mail is in this form.
And you have the attachment at the bottom, right? You can open that and see like what the attachment looks like, or so you along with the document you'll have some PDF, some kind of for certain regions, like we have implemented something called PDF, like you can go and look what are the kind of questions.
Customer engagement piece.
Yeah, customer engagement piece where you can look at some questions and find answers for yourself. Some frequently asked questions like what does this cover, what MSAs and all that questions put together. Yeah, and customer can open that and see and look at the agreement as well. Do you want to go back and open the agreement as well, Abhishek, once? Yeah, this is how the customer receives. These are the clauses, conditions, and this is the order form, and these are the users and all. This is how they make sure that everything looks good and they sign it back and it comes to us. It's okay. So we'll make it manual. We'll change the status manually. That's fine.
Yeah. So here you can see is this is basically a what I will say a negotiated agreement. So both thing is blank. The signatories is blank either from Salesforce side and US partner side. Basically, we have sent this mail. This is the first form of mail which customer will receive for reviewing purpose. Once they reviewed it, once the AEs receive the reviewed agreement, so they will further create the process for e-signature. Then they will select the customer signing contract and send the same thing to the customer signing contract for e-signing it. So that's a difference between negotiated one and a non-negotiated one. In non-negotiated one, all the conditions are predefined. Only we will directly send to customer for e-signature, where in a negotiated one, we usually first send the review mail. Then after all conditions are set with the customer, then we send it for e-signature.
But sorry to interrupt you, Abhishek. Deepika, somebody help me understand. Yes. So the negotiated contract context, this email has been sent and the negotiation happens. So whatever the end customer, whoever it is, they are trying to negotiate. So will they send their new negotiation, whatever price, contract terms or whatever, through email?
Yes, they will be sent via email to the AEs.
Okay, they can reply to this email.
Yeah. We have mentioned over here. If you have further questions, provide your comments in the attached document and return to me via email.
So, Hari, so either they within the document itself, if you see that the Word document is already shared with them,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So basically, they'll make edits on them.
Yes.
If at all they want some clause to be changed in a certain way, they'll add their comments or probably have those lines updated accordingly. Probably, and they might not be deleting it. They might just be scratching it out. And they'll
they can update the document itself. Okay.
Yes.
They would be able to update that document, and that's the whole purpose of receiving an updated version and then checking through Xauthor, which could potentially capture all the red lines and stuff.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that is the sole reason why if you'll create a non-negotiated one, the format will be PDF, and the negotiated one is a doc one. We usually give customers to review it so that they can edit within the document, as Ankit said, and we will receive it and we will incorporate those changes via Xauthor.
Yeah,
and again,
makes sense.
And at the end of the day, whether it's non-negotiated or negotiated, Hari, what happens is once it is finalized, right? Once we have a final version, always the signatures would always happen on a PDF version.
Yeah. I mean, because DocuSign, I guess.
Correct. So so the executables would always be shared for signatory for in the PDF version.
PDFs, yes. I mentioned earlier.
So what is red line, Ankit?
Red line is basically anything which is getting subject to change within that the Word document itself, and it would be either updates which they have made in terms of what changes they want, and once red line means basically anything which is getting changed. Satya, to be very.
There's just enabling track changes kind of a
Track
thing.
changes.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's okay, Abhishek. Don't worry about that. It's okay. We have covered it. We have shown what the content we shown that, right? Let's change it manually status and then let's move it to the.
Yeah.
The next. Probably. The process is same.
Can someone share this URLs of this environment where we can try and navigate through the screens or see the process?
Any environment you should be having that access, Hari.
Sorry?
Any lower environment you should have the access which we are using, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we can have.
Maybe dev boxes. Just work with Abhishek or Banani or Lata. They have the access, I think.
Yes.
Setting it up.
I would suggest use the QA environment for any sort of marking around, not the dev, because I think they'll be still working on some of this stuff.
So Deepika, if you don't mind, can you send these sample 4 documents to me?
Sure, Abhishek will send it across because he's actually demoing it, so I'll ask him to send that in the group. Everybody, Abhishek, just send those to the CLM team, right? That way, Hari and everybody they wanted to see these ones. They can see that.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So let's change status, and I think let's move on.
So there is one more process over here.
Submit approval.
This status agreement approval I'm talking.
Okay. So this is basically in negotiated one we used to do it based on the payment terms. There will be certain approval processes which are predefined. Since here there are no terms that require approval, so we are receiving this message. There are certain payment terms which should be less than 60 or more than 60. We have defined in a what I will say a quick document. If you want, you can refer to that. Since in this particular agreement there are no terms that require approval, so this message is getting displayed. What we will do is we will submit it for approval. Once it is approved, the status will get changed to in authoring and SFDC approved.
Thanks, Sita. Okay, guys, I think everybody's busy, right? So we will continue probably tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, we'll figure out.
Yeah, sure. Not an issue.
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks a lot. A very, very nice session. Abhishek.
Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Deepika. Thank you.
Actually, don't skip a second. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
So let me stop recording.
Sure.
Where it is?
Okay, let me stop. I think I should stop recording, sorry.
Okay.